Oh, hello, my fine plant friends. Um, hey, I'm going to tell you that I actually started this video and was talking and everything, but I never pushed record. So here we go, starting from scratch. I'm in the grow room today, and I wanted to show you all what's growing. We haven't been up here in a while. Um, we were using the small shelf. Um, I know y'all saying small. This is a small shelf, but my seed addiction, my need to seed started just getting the best of me. Plus, I'm establishing a new bed on the other side of the yard. We're about to put up a little fence that's going to need some plants. And I'm not buying plants when I can grow them. Um, so, yeah, I've got some plants I propagated. So, there's some house plants in here. And then we'll get to the big shelf where the seedlings are. So, let's start with the house plants. Now, obviously, these not going outside into the new bed outside. But I just want to show you because I'm super excited how these are looking. So these I'm about to show you I didn't propagate, but they have been taking forever. I have been nursing these plants for months, and I'm finally getting some new growth. So I would say these are growing extremely slowly. Yeah, but here we go. So the first is this philodendron, and I can never remember the name of it, but she is big, big. Like, and her stalk, look at that, solid. She big. She started getting dark, and I cut off all the dark pieces because I don't want my plant putting forth any energy. Devoting energy to something that's not going to produce is exhausting your plant. But I finally got a new leaf this week. Look at that. That's the new leaf. She big, she shiny, she pretty, you pretty girl. And after all this time, look at all these new growth points. There's one right there, there. Like, this is absolutely thrilling. Oh, I had a new leaf that came out, and she looked a hot, cold, and a lukewarm mess, and I cut her right off because we're not doing that. Also, if you want to know what this stuff is on my soil, it's cinnamon, because we're not playing this game with fungus gnats. I'll show you what it is. Regular cinnamon, great value from the marks of wall. All right, back to this. We have my begonia maculata. She is beautiful, and she's getting some new leaves finally. This is a new leaf. She looking a little bit twisted, but girl, I'll give you some time. So all this new growth that you're seeing here and here is very exciting, but let me show you the most exciting part. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back over there. Do you see her? Hold up. This is a weird angle that I'm standing at. And I'm trying not to block the light. Do you see it? Oh my God. Get out the... Oh. Now you don't want to focus. Like, this is everything happening all at once. So I want to show you something. There she go. My Lord. And if you see, the back of these leaves are all this maroon color. And there's another new piece right there. Ah! We don't have to pretend like I'm not thrilled because you know that I am. So up here we have my Hoya Lisa. She actually put out a huge runner. When I hung her up here in this window, she started vining. And then the vines stopped putting on leaves. And I'm actually all right with that. She looks beautiful. Look at her variegation. Lord have mercy. That is nice. Yeah. So she's actually thriving since I brought her upstairs. She was downstairs with the rest of the house plants, but this room is warmer. There's no people walking through here except for moi. I have this is the Thanksgiving cactus. So also in a hanging basket, also doing just fine this winter. Now this is the north side of my house, and I actually get crazy light over here. But this is where I get my afternoon sun. And then this is also where I can come look out and look at the greenhouse and look at the stuff growing on the deck. Y'all just know what we talking about though. But anyway, she doing good. Here is my begonia. I'm sorry, Lord have mercy. Monstera adsonia. She's pretty. I had one leaf that was looking terrible and I cut it off, but let me get down there and get that out, because we don't leave this mess behind. I think I did this last night, so I wasn't trying to be being all pruny and stuff. I was just trying to get it off. So when stuff starts dying on your plant, go ahead and remove it again, so your plant is not devoting any of its energy into trying to foster something that's not going to live. But I will show you how prolific this plant is. You see this? New leaf, new leaf, new leaf, new leaf. I think I probably get like a new leaf on this plant every few days. See this? That's a new leaf about to emerge. This plant is super easy to propagate. As you know, with any philodendron, you cut here. That's a root, a node. All those little bumps are where a root would form. So I just submerge those in water, let them root out. Bing, bang, boom, new plant. Down here, I've got my philodendron Brazil. See that? That's a new leaf, baby. Still waiting to try to get its little striations. However, I do have a leaf over here that's looking kind of yellow. So I am thinking about taking this downstairs and hitting her with some Alaska 511 fish fertilizer. 511 is high in nitrogen. So that is also what attracts your aphids. Y'all know what happened in this room over the fall with my peppers, and I can't do it no more. Me and aphids, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I did want to show you all anyway. So yeah, she's going to get a little 511 so we can green her back up, get her back into health. But back to this. My money plant. Yes, girl. Now this is a tree. So I just want y'all to see. Yeah. Fingers in my face. But this just happened. Yeah. New growth. Yes, she's still braided. And this is how it came. So where you see it cut, so they braid them, then they cut them, then they propagate them and make some new ones. So I'm cool with this. It's very full, as you can see. And here are the plants I propagated. So this is the Cebu Blue. Let me show you. This is also the Cebu Blue. I made two of them. This is a new leaf. You can tell your new leaves because they is shiny, shiny. And then what we got here, more new leaves coming out. And she's a viner, babe. So once I find a pretty pot for her, which I think I have a few downstairs, she will go into a very nice pot and a macrame hanger. And she'll be in a window somewhere. Or, yeah, she'll be in a window because she's vining. So let me show you. This one is also vining. I don't know if you can see. I had to throw her down to the back because they was in the way. Come on, you can come on up here. Come on. Come on, Daddy Pooh. Come on. And as you see, the Cebu Blue has this beautiful color, and it's like a green, blue, steel kind of color. It's really pretty. And getting a new leaf. The most recent new leaf. You can do this too, because it's the same thing as all the other philodendrons. You'll just see that? That's a bud. So if I cut this here, remove this leaf, and set this in some water, I would start getting roots from here, and I'd have a whole new plant. Or I could cut this here, keep this leaf for photosynthesis, and cut here, and then I can come up here and cut here, cut here. And I would keep the leaves there so they could photosynthesize and submerge them all in water or some moist potting mix. And they'd all begin to root. And then I could have myself an amazing amount of new plants. Oh, what am I focusing on? But we're not doing that because I've already chopped this plant up so many times. Now, this is my Monstera Aaaannnddd that I propagated. And I know you're saying, ooh, child, her look rough. But I'm going to tell you why I'm leaving this like this. First of all, I propagated her in water. A water propagation, when you propagate your plants in water, when you propagate in water, those roots that have established in the water are water roots. So when you transfer them to soil, there is a bit of transplant shock, just moving them out of that consistently moist environment into soil. So for the first few weeks, you have to keep that soil moist, not soggy, but moist, and so that your roots can start. So that your roots can start acclimating themselves to be in a soil condition. So as the time goes on, you can start scaling back your water and then water your plants on a regular basis when they, not regular basis, you can start watering your plants when they need it, just like you water the rest of your house plants. But so this one's undergoing a little bit of shock, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna let her be like this because she's throwing out new leaves. So what happens, she's putting out her new leaves. She's getting, this is a good sign, and she's getting acclimated to being in a soil condition. See right here? That's going to be a new leaf too. What's that? We'll take care of that in a minute. But she's actually putting on new growth. So I'm going to leave these, how do I describe them? Crusty. I'm going to leave these crusty looking leaves up here right this minute because she's getting a little light. And I don't have these under the lights. I turned them off because these just need room light. So they're next to the window. It's going to get bright in here. Plus these lights are on. So it's going to get actually bright enough in here that these are fine. This I'm leaving like this while she's getting herself together, learning to love the room. I love soil. Okay, look. Before we think I bought this, I did not. I reuse pots. Literally, when people buy a plant, they be like, girl, I got some pots over here. I'm coming. Up here we have this is my milk confetti syngonium. I'm having difficulty with this because see where it's turning brown? That should be pink. So she's putting out new leaves, and they always look so pretty when they come out. So it's going to be like a light green with some pink spots and some white spots, and it looks really, really nice. I just haven't figured out her light situation yet, but don't worry, because if I start seeing that plant going downhill too fast, you know what's going to happen? She's going to get propagated. Okay, that was enough of that. So, what's on the big shelf? It's the big shelf. I'm stupid. All right, so we're in planting season right this minute, and we got plenty of, y'all know the garden is all the way planted out. Like, I don't have space for nothing else. But I am establishing a new bed in the front yard because we're building a little fence. And at that bed, I'm going to need some plants. And I'm not buying plants. I'm actually growing perennials in that bed. So I'm just going to grow them myself from seed like I like to do. But if you know, like I know, your tomatoes and cucumbers and squashes and zucchinis don't an unlimited life. They are going to get tired. I'm in Virginia, so the squash vine borer is coming. We cannot avoid that. That thing is coming, and it'll be here any day now. They literally come in June. Their lifespan, they come in June, and then I would say about mid-July they're gone. So I went ahead and I'm starting some new stuff. Now I did start new squashes and zucchinis. I'm not gonna lie. And if they're ready before then, I'll take them outside and put them in the greenhouse and close the greenhouse, let them grow. And then when it's time, I'll bring them out and they'll be ready for pollination. But I'm not going to let the squash vine borer keep getting my stuff, because I would like to have some squash and zucchini. I don't know about you. If you're cool going to the grocery store, girl, go hard. I want to grow my stuff. I'm a bit of a control freak, and I definitely want to control the process from start to finish. I want to know the soil. I want to know conditions. I want to know all of that. And that's me. So, like I was saying, so I've started a new round of tomatoes. Probably too many. Honestly, it's too many. I literally have, let me show you. Well, I've got Alice's Dream, Brad's Atomic. I did not have good luck with Brad's Atomic when I first started growing my tomatoes for this season, and I've tried again. So I put 2 seeds in every cell. So this morning I came through and I thinned them out, and I hate thinning them out. Brad's Atomic, that's the only one that came up, that one right there. So I'm still gonna keep these 2 cells moist in hopes that they are just maybe late bloomers. Then this is the Castelluta Genovesa. I've never had this, but we will this year. So I thinned out this morning. So again, I put 2 seeds in every cell. And then this is the early girl. Thinned them out this morning. So I've got 1 Brad's Atomic, 3 Alice's Dream, 3 Castelluta Genovese, and 3 early girls. Or do I? Let's zoom down here right quick. And right here. Oh. So maybe I have 9 early girls. Yeah, that happened. But I've got plenty of people I can share with. So my basil started looking rusty, dusty, and crusty outside. So I started more Italian basil. So maybe I have 18. But that's not a problem because I got basil all over the place. Back here, we have some Shasta daisies. So let me tell you all how I plant. This is had a little salad in it from Kroger. Let me get this out of here. So I put some drainage holes at the bottom, filled it with some of my good soil. Focus. So if y'all see that black line, it's because of these lights. These lights are no match. I mean, this camera is no match for these lights. These lights are incredible. So, what was I saying? I'm going to just take these down. Well, matter of fact, I'm going to use this one. So, I'm starting some lamb's ear, right? So, if you can see, I multi-sow. And you see that right there? That was where the basil came from. Those are Shasta daisies. So, I multi-sow. So, I sprinkle a bunch of seeds in. And then I baby them. And then once they start to germinate, then I get my seed cells, fill them up, and I'll come back in and I'll stick my pen under. This is my growing pen. Yeah, we don't right now with this. But what I will do is I'll come in and I'll stick it. I'm going to use a place where there's nothing. I'll stick it all the way in underneath the soil, and then I'll pick it up so that I can get the roots and all. And I'll put these in their own seed cells so that they can grow on. And then if I need to pot them up, I will, depending on what seed cell I start with. So I don't know if I'll necessarily start these in the 6 cell seed trays, or maybe my 2-inch 6 cells, or my 3.5-inch pots. I don't know. I have a lot of choices on what I can start them in. But these are perennial here. So I know they're going to have quite some time to grow. So I don't need to pot them up necessarily quickly. But once they've germinated, they're still cotyledons. But if you can see, where's my grow pen? They're cotyledons, but if you can see, I'm starting to get true leaves. And I just planted these. I put these seeds in on the 20th of May. So if you see, those are true leaves. These are still just cotyledons, but I'm getting true leaves here. So I'm going to let this get a little bit larger, and then I will separate this out. This will also give me an opportunity to see if anything else will germinate in this pot. So, and even after I prick these out and start putting them in their own individual homes, I will still let this go for just a little while longer to see if anything comes up, because obviously I put more seeds in here than just this, so I still have an opportunity for something else to come up. So when I'm pricking these out, I will try to disturb this side as little as possible in case anything else comes out. So that's multi-sowing, and you'll see that all over here. Like I said, those Shasta daisies, multi-sown, and so they will get pricked out to their own individual homes. Now back to the fact that it's time for us to start. It's hot in here. Listen, I know I got all this bootstraps and all my stuff, but when I'm starting, I start in the least, the cheapest way I possibly can. So these are the Bootstrap Farmer, the large forest ales, because these will probably stay in here until I take them out. They are cucumbers and they move fast, and cucumbers don't want their roots disturbed a lot. So let me show you how these look. If you're unfamiliar with the Bootstrap Farmer products, they're actually quite amazing. And let me go here. And when it comes time to transplant, I'll show you how easy they've made it for you to get these out of the cells. Because I know, traditionally we had to take the cells and squeeze them and try to get the stuff out. Not with Bootstrap Farmer. When these are ready to come out, I'm just going to stick my hand in there, push them up, pop them out, and I'll be able to transplant these with very minimal root disturbance. And I'll go back to these tomatoes so you can see. These are the small 6 cells. Same thing. I can transplant these with very little root disturbance. So that's exciting. So what do I have here? I've got 2 lemon cucumbers, a party time cucumber, bait alpha, a muncher, a white wonder, and 2 mini whites. So I'm just restarting some because the ones that are out there on the vine now, they're going to be tired. And let me see if I can sit y'all down while I move around for a second. It might be weird. It might be weird, but anyway. So the ones that are out on the vine now, they're going to get tired. They're going to be having, they would have been hit by massive amounts of sun because it's getting hot. And then whatever bugs have chosen to come near them, they would have got hit by rain, blah, blah, blah. Could have got some powdery mildew. You can't keep your same plants going all season long. You're going to have to refresh them. Otherwise, prepare to cut your season short. Be ready to just, if you're not going to start a new round of plants now, be prepared that when those plants out there exhaust, go ahead and pull them out and you're done. Unless you have something to go in right behind it. So what's going to happen when the stuff outside gets exhausted or something happens, let's cross our fingers that nothing does, I have 1, some backups ready to go in right behind them, and 2, I'm ready for a whole nother round when that time comes. So you got to plan for the eventualities because it's outside. You don't know what's going to happen outside. So anyway, so that's my cucumbers and tomatoes and basil that I got going. I also have some Sure Thing zucchini. I only put 3 of them in the pot, and as much as they don't want their roots disturbed, I do disturb those, and they're not in the Bootstrap Farmer pot. I'll just, when they start germinating and I start getting one set of true leaves, I will go ahead and separate those out and let them continue on until I get a second set of true leaves, and then I'll plant them. Or I can plant them at the first set of true leaves, but I will separate them out, and I won't think twice about that like I will with the cucumbers. But what else I got? So skip these early girls. I've got some toothache plant. Very nice. These are all toothache plants, and I started them all multi-sowed like I showed you. And these have been going for probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks now, and they're already this big. And I pricked them out, and they were very small. I've got some giant Musselburgh leeks, and I've got some Australian brown onions. So far I've only had 3 of the onions to germinate, and the leeks went crazy. So I'm going to separate these out very soon. But as you can see, the leeks are still popping up, so I'm good with that. It's time to start your perennials, y'all. So get moving because you know they move slowly. You need them to be established if you plan to put them in your landscape this season because they're going to die back in the fall. So they need to be big and strong. They need to be strong enough that one, if you put them in the landscape, they can establish their root system. So when they die back in the fall and the winter, they can come back very nice in the spring next year. So I've got Hoary Mountain Mint, and I started these April 26th. I multi-sowed them, then I pricked them out. As you see, I lost this one, I lost that one, but I started these April 26th. Hoary Mountain Mint. This is Spotted Bee Balm. It's one right here. They're difficult to see because of their color. And then I lost these three. I'm okay with that. This is also Spotted Bee Balm. These three didn't make it. This one did. This one did. This one did. This is the Little Blue Stem native ornamental grasses. So I'm growing those on. I also multi-sowed them. Everything, all my seeds are multi-sow. That way I don't waste my time seeding trays and then end up having blank spots because nothing actually came up in those spots. So this is an easy way to make sure your trays are always, your seed cells are full, and that you have something actually growing there, and that you're not waiting if something's going to come up. Anyway, mullein, all mullein, looking very nice. I'll show y'all this. This is the rest of the basil. This is how it started. I filled my trays, so I already have 18 of them. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to do that with these, but I might. I don't know. Chicken. Okay. I've got my desert roses in here. I've got 8 desert roses outside, and I'm growing these inside just to see how it goes. Cardinal lobelia, sea holly, straw flower, and this is catmint. Let's say that, catmint. This is my Sure Thing zucchini. And this is parthenocopic, so I can actually grow these in the house. They don't need pollination, but we'll talk about that another day. And then that's some more of the Hoary Mountain Mint that I was growing. Like I said, I just kind of leave them for a little bit to see what I still get. And if it's looking great, I'll pot them up, or I'll pot them up and give them away. Either way, I cannot get rid of seedlings. So it is what it is. Anyway, so what do we have here? Got one delphinium that came up. I've been trying to grow delphinium since I was a baby. This is where the mullein came out. So I multi-sowed. So where you saw those plants, they were in here. I multi-sowed and then I pricked them out. Toothache plant. I multi-sowed. The ones that you saw up here came from here. And they're still growing. So I'm going to probably have to prick these out and then I'm giving them away. And I'm fine with that. I started some more feverfew a few days ago because me and feverfew apparently don't have a good relationship. The foxglove, I did so well with foxglove before. And this is more bee balm. See where you see these? The bee balm up here, I pricked them out from there. But let me show you. It's not what you think. Because the little bit you just saw is not all of it. Hold on, I'm trying to get my seat. Excuse me. So I don't have to keep bending over. Because, you know, this back is getting old. So, what do we have here? I'm just going to take this tray out. Because, oh, that's my finger. Sorry, I'm doing a terrible job of holding this camera today, but I'm trying to hold the camera and do 74 things, and it's not really working the way I want it to. All right, that's good light. So, catmint, not catnip, catmint, and these were started May the 11th. Bee balm, a monarda, 2 mulleins. These 2 are mullein, and the rest are toothache plant. But that is 18 catmints, in addition to the ones you just saw up top. Cardinal lobelia, very nice, perennial and native here. More toothache plant, toothache plant, toothache plant. Sea holly. If you've never seen what sea holly looks like, it's incredible. Now, in nature, there are very few flowers that are actually blue. Blue is my favorite color. It's my dad's favorite color too. And I just think blue in your landscape is just incredible. I mean, a lot of our perennials seem like they're purple or yellow or white. But some blue flowers, heavens to Murgatroyd. They just do something to me. So, back to the program. So, we have a sea holly straw flower. Now, where's the straw flower? Oh, right here. If you see, I've got some coming up. This is why I don't necessarily toss that pot when I pricked out some, because only 2 came up. So I know I still have some more that's coming, so I saved the 4 spots right there for what comes next. Toothache plant. And see, if you notice, I prefer for my seed sales, I don't want to have a bunch of wasted space. Also, this means that I bottom water. So this means when I water, all these things are getting watered at the same time. This morning I came through and I fertilized all my seedlings, and I used a very gentle fertilizer. This is a 222. It's True Organics liquid pre-plant starter. We don't care that it's pre-plant starter. That means nothing. It's still got all the same macro and micronutrients in it. Look on the back if you need to know what's in it. But just know that as a 222, that is a balanced organic fertilizer there. Your granular fertilizers are not immediately available to your plants, and your seedlings don't need a granular fertilizer, honestly. If granular fertilizer is going to take like 3 weeks, you need your soil microbiome to break those down. Right now we don't have that kind of situation going. The roots in here are not as hardcore as the stuff out in your landscape, in your garden or your raised beds. So this just needs a gentle, balanced liquid. Now, I also fertilize my seedlings at somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 strength. Let's see. Again, at 1/4 or 1/2 strength, so that they don't need the full blast of fertilizer right now. They're just barely out of their cotyledon stage. But they have 2 sets of true leaves, so they do need a fertilizer at this point. So again, a gentle, balanced, all-natural liquid fertilizer, diluted, is all your seedlings need. So anyway, I guess I'm going to be working on this today. Picking up more toothache plant, and that mullein, and this monarda or bee balm, and that one delphinium. So that's what we got for you today, y'all. It's seedling time, especially for your perennials and your natives. They do take a long time, and again, they are going to die back in the fall, so you need to go ahead and get them established now so they can get their root systems nice and healthy. You can plant them out. They can start getting accustomed to where they're going. This gives you time to harden them off and to put them where they're going to live. And then let them grow. They're not going to flower this year. They are not going to produce flowers this year, just so you know. But what they will be is super strong. They'll die back in the fall. Next spring, you are going to have quite a show. And you're only going to have that, all right, if you have started them from seed indoors. Because what you've been able to do is you cold stratified your seeds, so they think they've been through a winter. You started them in a nice warm condition, so they think they've been through a spring. You set them outside, you harden them off, you plant them in the landscape, they're establishing their roots, they've gone through a summer. Then this year they'll go through their fall, they'll go through a second winter. Remember, the first winter was fake because they was in the refrigerator during the cold stratification process. Next spring, as far as these plants know, they've been through 2 whole sets of seasons already. Because With your perennials and your natives, you got to fake it till you make it, right? So faking it, first step of faking it is cold stratification in the refrigerator. Fake winter. And cold stratification doesn't take that long, but you need to go ahead and prepare yourself for this day. Your cold stratification, I do the cold moist stratification, so they're in coffee filters, moistened coffee filters, in sandwich bags, in the refrigerator on the door. They don't need to be frozen. Don't put them on your shelf. How you gonna do that? Where you gonna put your food at if you got seeds on your shelf? Come on, y'all. So they sitting right beside the mayonnaise on the door in sandwich bags. That's all they need. I do use coffee filters because they will be biodegradable. Also, the seedlings, if they start sprouting in your refrigerator, if you start getting roots in the refrigerator while they're stratifying, and then you try to use your tweezers and get that off of the paper towel so you can plant them in your soil, sometimes you'll end up, they would have grown through the paper towel, and when you're trying to remove them, your seeds will be, you end up ripping off the roots, and then you have nothing. But with your coffee filter, you don't have to do that. If you feel like the roots have grown through, just remove the whole coffee filter part, with the roots still attached to it, and go ahead and plant it. The coffee filter will break down after a while, and it's fine. Your plant will grow right through it. It will grow big and strong. Oh, excuse me. With the coffee filter in it, you're fine. Anyway, so that's it for today, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, you know I am this seed starting monster. So if you got any questions about starting seeds, what to do, how to do it, what's cold stratification, what's fertilization, same thing. Or you've heard something and you don't quite understand it, I am here for all your questions, all your seed starting needs. No, not seed starting needs. I'm not sending you fertilizer, but I'm here to answer any questions that you have about seed starting. Anyway, hit me up. Let me know what you got growing in your greenhouse or your grow room. I'm very interested to know who's doing what. Let me know where you are in the world and what the temperatures are where you are. Anyway, y'all be good, be blessed. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.